So friends, let's take on two stories involving the Trump trials. The first, his civil case that is in trial presently in New York, that is the E.Jean Carroll case. And the second, the criminal prosecution that has been brought against him by New York District Attorney Alvin Bragg. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, it looks like we're going to be spending a lot of quality time together discussing, unpacking, and analyzing the Trump trials. And I, for one, am happy and honored and humbled to be on this Justice Matters ride with you all. So let's take on two pretty remarkable developments in the Trump trials. One in his criminal case, that is the prosecution that has been brought against him by New York District Attorney Alvin Bragg, and the other in his civil case. That case, which is in trial as we speak, involves the sexual assault and defamation allegations brought against Donald Trump by E.Jean Carroll. And frankly, both of these stories highlight the danger posed by Donald Trump. Let's start with the New York prosecution. This from the AP. Trump might use trial docs to scorch witnesses, DA says. New York prosecutors have asked a judge to bar Donald Trump from using evidence from his criminal case to attack witnesses, citing what they say is the former president's history of making harassing, embarrassing, and threatening statements about people he's tangled with in legal disputes. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office filed court papers Monday asking Judge Juan Manuel Merchan for a protective order that would put strict guardrails around Trump's access to and use of evidence turned over by prosecutors prior to trial. That kind of evidence sharing, called discovery, is routine in criminal cases and is intended to help ensure a fair trial. Prosecutors want to block Trump from posting evidence to social media or providing it to third parties. They also want to restrict how he views certain sensitive material, asking that he do so only in the presence of his lawyers and that he not be able to copy, photograph, or transcribe those records. Trump has a long-standing and perhaps singular history of attacking witnesses, investigators, prosecutors, trial jurors, grand jurors, judges, and others involved in legal proceedings against him, Assistant District Attorney Catherine McCaw wrote. That behavior, she said, has put those individuals and their families at considerable safety risk. Merchan did not immediately rule on the prosecution's request. McCaw, in her filing, asked him to schedule a hearing on the matter next week. Now, friends, highlighting the wisdom of this prosecution request for a protective order, putting these strict guardrails around Donald Trump, highlighting the wisdom of that request is what Donald Trump just posted on his third-rate social media platform about E.Jean Carroll as that case, the E.Jean Carroll case, is in trial. Here's what Trump posted. The E.Jean Carroll case, Miss Bergdorf Goodman, is a made-up scam. Her lawyer is a political operative financed by a big political donor that they said didn't exist, only to get caught lying about that. Just look at her CNN interview before and after the commercial break, like a different person. She said there was a dress using the old Monica Lewinsky stuff. Then she didn't want to produce it. The dress should be allowed to be part of the case. This is a fraudulent and false story, witch hunt. You know, friends, with posts like that, Donald Trump is doing his nefarious best, his despicable best, to try to poison the well of public opinion and try to infect the jury with false, fraudulent, inflammatory BS. But now let's turn more directly to the E.Jean Carroll case and this recent reporting by NBC News. Anonymous jury. The judge is using an anonymous jury, an unusual move for a civil trial, but one he said is necessary. Judge Kaplan wrote, "If jurors' identities were disclosed, there would be a strong likelihood of unwanted media attention to jurors, influence attempt and/or harassment or worse of jurors by supporters of Mr. Trump." And friends, this next part stunned me. The judge urged potential jurors in the courtroom Tuesday not to use their real names with one another. Quote, "If you're a Bill, you can be John for a few days," Judge Kaplan said. You know, friends, I don't even know what to say to that. Have the jurors conceal from one another their names, their true identities, take on an assumed name, lie about who you are, and then we're going to send them off into a jury deliberation room and have them have to discuss openly, honestly, fully, and candidly the evidence that they saw introduced over the course of the trial and try to reach a just and fair verdict. But make sure you don't tell one another your true name. You know, friends, the way our systems of government seem forever willing to bend over backwards to accommodate the dangerousness and the lawlessness of Donald Trump. Having jurors lie to one another, even if only about their names, is unhealthy for the legal system and for the sanctity of jury deliberations, in my opinion. Instead of making the jurors conceal their names and identities from one another, how about you treat Donald Trump like the wrongdoer he is, rather than making the prosecutors and the judges and the witnesses and the jurors and everybody else adjust to accommodate Donald Trump's lawlessness and dangerousness? How about you treat Donald Trump like the wrongdoer he is and issue a damn gag order? Some narrowly tailored limitations on his speech and on his social media posts. Limitations designed to prevent Donald Trump from intimidating others in the system and in the process, limiting Donald Trump from being able to poison the well of public opinion with lies. How about you treat Donald Trump like the wrongdoer he is? Limit his dangerous, lawless, and fraudulent speech. And then when he violates that narrowly tailored limitation, that gag order, hold him in contempt like the wrongdoer he is. Because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe, please stay tuned, and I look forward to talking with you all again soon.